Hello, welcome once again to our training program on advanced Excel. So in today's class, we'll be looking at data consolidation. So getting started, what do we mean when we refer to data consolidation? First and foremost, we know that our training program has always been targeted for accountants and finance professionals. So I will be using some accounting and finance terms. So basically, before I delve into what data consolidation is all about, first and foremost, the reason why we are trying to consolidate data when it comes to accounting and finance, it's because of the financial statements. And don't go too far. What I mean by financial statements, they are just essential documents, those essential documents that detail the financial activity of a company. And of course, you know that in every company, financial activity takes place. So financial statements are documents that show, the activity, the financial activity of a company. Okay, so companies uses these statements to be able to monitor their revenue, to monitor their expenditure, and also to strategize for their potential financial priorities. And for instance, in today's class, we'll be using a problem where we have a company with three branches. We have our Port Harcourt branch, our Ogun branch, and we also have our Lagos branch. So these are sales data for these branches. And then one thing you will notice is that for this sales data, we are having three products, product A, B, and C, and we're having 4 months. We have January, February, March, and April, okay, for the three branches. So with the help of data consolidation feature, we'll be able to consolidate to know how much was made or how much was generated from the sales of product A for January all through the three branches. So it's very important, okay? This is not a standard financial statement, but definitely this is also part of the management reports, because definitely we know that there are three reports which are very important for an accountant. That's the income statement, that of the statement of financial position, and the cash flow. But aside that, there are other management reports like payables reports, sales report, and other reports which are also very necessary to be maintained. So you're going to use this training to consolidate, those financial statements, at your workplace, those financial statements you have, you use what you're going to learn today to be able to do that. And don't forget that one of the essence of consolidating your financial statement is that your consolidated financial statement can assist a company with several units or subsidiaries in tracking their overall financial transactions, okay, without sifting through dozens of reports. You can just consolidate it at once, okay? And in this very class, I'll be taking you on this, on how you can be able to do that. So don't forget what I said. I said that a consolidation of your statements, of your reports that we have here, is a report that outlines the financial operations of a business. And if you see here, at this point, we are trying to consolidate a report that outlines the financial or the sales operation of this company's three branches. So we can say the name of this company is, let's say the name of this company is ABC, okay, ABC. Or we can say the name of this company is Goody Nigeria Limited. I can say Goody Pharmacy and Stores, Goody Pharmacy and Goody Pharmacy and Stores. Goody Pharmacy and Stores. So you can see for Goody Pharmacy and Stores, this is the sales data for their three different products. We have product A, product B, product C, which could represent any product. So what I'm trying to say is that the financial statement here, the consolidated financial statement here, is that report that is going to outline the financial, or at this point, since we are looking at sales report, it's going to outline the sales, operations, okay, of this very business. And it's important that you are able to do that. Now, there are situations where it could come to, more advanced aspect, like the pay between parent companies and subsidiaries. Now, a parent company in that case is just a corporation that manages the operations of another different company, okay, whereby it has ownership or control over that. For those of you who did group accounts and accounting, you will get to understand that properly. Okay, so for example, here, let's say this is a sales, this is a pharmacy and store business, and they may operate multiple companies under the same brand. Okay, under the same brand, Goody Pharmacy, operating in different branches under the same word, the same brand. Okay, then so for you to be able to finalize, for Goody in Port Harcourt, for Goody in Ogun, for Goody in Lagos branch, then you must be able, expected that you are able to do what? You are able to consolidate this statement. Because if you don't consolidate this statement, then you'll be finding it difficult for you to work on that. You'll be finding it difficult for you to work on that. So I'm just going to pause my explanation here so we can see how we'll be able to do that, how we can be able to do that in terms of we being able to do this. Now, there are situations where you might not necessarily be required to do this, because for those of you who are accountant, if you fall back to accounting, then you know that there are circumstances that require that a parent business has to prepare a consolidated financial statement, and there are other situations that don't require such statements. Okay, and like I said, that your financial statement typically indicates your various sources of revenue and your expenditure for the period you're documenting. So for those of you who need more knowledge as far as that is concerned, you can fall back and watch our video on that of financial statement analysis, where we use the sum is to explain how we're able to do that. And there are also, this knowledge can also be used when it comes to aspect of combined financial statement, which has to do with document that records all of a company's transactions. Okay, and this is majorly linked up with the banking sector. They uses the combined financial statement a lot, because if a banking customer has leasing agreement, with the same bank, it could be for a vehicle purchase or whatever kind of leased agreement, then definitely that the bank may provide a combined financial statement rather than 3 separate statements for each account. So customers can request at that point for individual statements, but usually the combined report can assist both the bank and the customer in saving time by merging financial transactions into one report. So at this juncture, let us look at this from this very perspective, where we are having our sales data for Goody here. Okay, we're having our sales data for Goody here. So how do we make it easier? Because we know definitely that one of the characteristics of a financial statement is what? Is understandability. Because accounting does not only stop at the aspect of preparation, it does not only stop at the bookkeeping aspect. Yes, we know that it basically has to do with those series of steps that must be followed. Okay, that must be followed. And when we talk about it, we are still referring to accounting, which has to do with the process of you being able to record transactions pertaining to a business. And recording generally is just the aspect of bookkeeping, and that's more reason I said that it has to do with series of steps that must be what? Followed. And we know it's good to mention also that the endpoint of all those series of steps that must be followed, like the classifying and organizing, okay, all those series of steps, the endpoint of it is reporting. So it's very important that you are able to do what? To merge these financial transactions into one report. I think that word merge is perfect. Yeah, good. To merge them into one report. And please, the merging aspect, I think that's majorly what we are looking at here. Okay, because it's different from consolidating the financial statement. Okay, there are differences between both of them. Okay, there are differences. So don't forget, as you're working there, you are always expected to do this, because doing this, merging this, or consolidating your statement, will assist your company, okay, or where you work, in determining its expenses, its revenue generated, in knowing how much they actually generated from their sales, okay. And it's very important, because also when it comes to obtaining tax advantages, okay, it can also help them. And for companies that have multiple branches, they can also use this consolidation tool here in this advanced cell to coordinate their financial operations, okay, to coordinate their financial operations. And the essence of this, of having a clearly stated report as this, because definitely if, let's say, Goody Pharmacy and Stores has an investor, the investor can also benefit from this, because when it comes to deciding whether they should invest more money into the business, yes, when you have consolidated this, when you have merged these reports together, okay, using the data consolidation tool, those investors typically is going to say, wow, because yes, let's invest on this because of the outcome we are having. And definitely, therefore means that since they are looking at the outcome, it therefore means that the business is doing efficiently fine, because not just effectively. Since our previous classes, we concluded, or we came to a point where we said that there's difference between effectiveness and efficiency, because in effectiveness, we are looking at the difference or the relationship between input and output, but in efficiency, we are looking at the difference between output and what? Outcome. So when it comes to a business, the outcome, of the sales and so on is very important, because at that point, it makes it easier for investors to come to deciding whether to put in enough money into the business. And like I said, investors prefer to see a complete overview of the business they are considering. And this whole processes necessitates you using a consolidated financial statement, using a meshed report, using a combined financial statement to inform them, to inform management, okay, of what financial operations are occurring throughout the company, and as well as its branches or its what? Subsidiaries. Okay, its subsidiaries. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is very important for you to take note of. And then we are going to look into these very examples, so we see how we are going to go about this in due time. All right, so getting started, okay, we're going to use this combined report, and we're also going to look into a consolidated statement example, okay, on how we can actually achieve this as we proceed in this very class. I'm going to look into that, so we see how we're going to proceed in this very class. So quickly, what and how do we get started? Now, normally there are tips, okay, when it comes to preparing a consolidated financial statement or report. There are tips you must consider, okay, not just going into the practical. Those tips are like ingredients, which are very important, that you must ensure that you are you familiarize yourself with those ingredients, even if you're not an accountant, okay. You can consider these following ingredients when you, because it's going to help you, okay, draft it. Because one of the challenges we're having, a lot of persons just move to watch videos on the practical aspect. Videos are always provided on the practical aspect, but those necessary ingredients, which are like tips to guide you, on that, is not really detailed out. So what do you do before you come in to say, I want to start preparing a consolidated financial statement? First of all, you need to keep detailed records. Okay, ensure that in as much as you're performing your tax, detailed records are maintained. And then this has to do with the accuracy of your financial statements. Okay, so you must ensure that the accuracy of your financial statement content is one of its most significant factors, because you cannot just create a report. But when you're creating such reports requires that a company can maintain precise financial records to ensure that no information is missing at any given time. So like I said, the tips, okay, let me go back to sheet 1. Okay, we'll say data consolidation, and I said tips. Okay, I say tips. So I love doing this so that everyone is on. So for those of you who are wondering why we break it down, yes, we break it down. In our classes, we always ensure that every lecture is being broke down properly to ensure that you are well guided. Okay, so we said for tips, I said one, ensure that all detailed records are maintained. Okay, you always ensure that you do what? You maintain, say tip one, say maintain. So one is that you maintain what? You maintain precise financial, maintain precise financial records. That's one. So just flow with me and get this part. When you've gotten this part, believe me, every other thing is going to be clear for you to understand perfectly. Don't forget we are looking at Goody Pharmacy and Stores, which you are using to practice this. So tip one, I said maintain precise financial records. And based on this, I was saying that the accuracy of the financial statements content is very important, and you must ensure that when you're creating any report, okay, you always ensure that you maintain precise financial records, that no information is missing, which means you do your review, and then you can also fall back to our lesson on how to analyze the financial statement, where I used that of the sum ifs to explain that you being able to take care of such tasks, you being able to take care of such tasks where necessary or where the need for it arises. You must ensure you watch that very video on financial statement analysis that is being provided from us, and then that way you get get a clearer picture of all what we are trying to explain. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what's the second way? Now, I'm very concerned about those of you who are not in the accounting and finance line. So most times, for those of you who are not in the accounting and finance line, you can, inform your accountant or invite your accountant, to help give you such accounting advice, okay, when you're trying to consolidate your reports or to merge or prepare a combined report for your sales or for whatever record you want to follow up with, okay? And this majorly, one tips I'm just going to give you, which, like I said, you have to ensure that you maintain precise financial record. And trust me, when you do this, when you ensure that your financial records is accurate enough, it's going to make everything easier for you, because there's nothing good like having a statement or a financial record that is accurately maintained, okay, or that is in order. And like I said, when your financial statement is in order, then you can flow, or I can say you're good to go. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So moving forward, what is data consolidation all about here when it comes to Excel? Now, bringing Excel in, because this class is majorly on Excel applications in accounting. Now, bringing Excel in, Excel can automatically summarize or consolidate these informations, okay? These information, and you can see they are in what we call a single sheet. So what it does is it consolidates this information from this single sheet, okay? This single sheet worksheets, if I want to call it, okay, from this single sheet, it consolidates them or merge them or combine them into a separate sheet, which I can call this sheet a summary. Okay, I can call it a summary, or I can say, let it be my total, or let it be my financial statement, consolidated financial statement. Okay, so with the aid of this advanced Excel feature, you can consolidate information, business reports, whatever, from you can consolidate them into this worksheet. So data consolidation in Excel enables you as a user, as an accountant, as a finance professional, to consolidate data from separate worksheet, like I said, into a master worksheet. You can also do that from a workbook. Where we are now, if you look above my screen, you can see the name is what? Data consolidation. put that. Now, this is a workbook. If I use Control N, it means that I'm now going to a new workbook. So this is what we call by a workbook. So with the aid of the data consolidation tool, it grabs data from a series of sheets. Okay, if you like, let it be on as many sheets as possible. It grabs data, and you must be able to understand how you can use it, because knowledge on how you can use it is going to aid you perfectly. So we are going to take two examples as we proceed immediately. So let's move forward. So let's say we have for Goody Pharmacy and Stores, we're having our sales data, okay, for these branches. Okay, we have for our Port Harcourt branch, we have for our Ogun branch, and we also have for our Lagos State branch. Okay, we have for our Lagos State branch. So what we are required to do, so I can decide that, let me state it here to make it look more clear. Let me state it here. So let me say for Goody, we are required. Okay, so you can say below here, required. These are the terms our lecturers used back then in university. So say required to prepare a combined report. Combined, because now we're not really consolidating the accounting aspect. So we have to prepare a combined report, combined sales report for Goody. For Goody Pharmacy and Stores. Okay, for Goody Pharmacy. Goody Pharmacy and Stores. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are asked to do. We are required to, prepare a combined sales report for Goody Pharmacy and Stores. Okay, we're combined to do this. Combined to do this. So we have to look into this. We have to look into this so we can then see how we'll be able to go about with this, which is very important for us. Okay, so we are required to prepare a combined sales report for Goody Pharmacy and Stores. And to make this look more detailed and clear, we are going to represent the product A. Let's say product A, and basically when we look at products within a pharmacy and a pharmacy and store typical company setting, we can say product A is for our medical, I would say for our supplements, because definitely there are supplements. And by supplements, of course, I know that you understand what I'm talking about, because the supplements are also products you will find. Okay, sorry, I didn't spell this way. The products you'll find in a pharmacy, and they are majorly for individuals who want to maintain a healthy life. Okay, a healthy life, and I wouldn't want to replace it with vitamins, because vitamins are also supplements. But what I will do, I'll just use that general term. So this was the total sales from all supplements. Okay, then for product B, I can say let this be medical equipment. Okay, medical equipment are also important, because if you go to a pharmacy setting, a well set up pharmacy, you will see medical equipment available, like your crutches, your surgical equipment. All these are also very important products, and wheelchairs and so on. So it could be wheelchairs, also part of it, and so on. So we can decide, like I said, to break this down, okay, to wheelchair, sales from wheelchair, sales from crutches, but let's just categorize it as our medical equipment. And if I was to break this down, like wheelchairs, vitamins, and so on, before I get to consolidate, it's expected of me to first of all do the analysis, where I'm going to do what we call financial statements mapping, okay, where I'm going to map out or categorize those wheelchair and so on as our medical equipment. I use medical equipment to represent them or to replace them, okay? And that has to do with our sum if lecture, which is on financial statement analysis, where you use the filtering technique to be able to filter out and represent them with that very terms. So go back, watch that video, and you definitely gain a lot of knowledge on how you can go about with that. Okay. And this also has to do with medical equipment, also has to do with things like bandages, those kind of products that help manage certain diseases, okay, which could be diabetic test strips, blood pressure meters, and so on. Then also we can also add another, since it's a combination of pharmacy and store setting, we can also call our product C to be some foods. Okay, we can just put some foods. Okay, let's say foods. Okay, health foods. Okay, we can just say foods. Okay, because when you go to such pharmacy, you also see some foods or provisions. You can say some provisions, which could be things like our milk. All right, so I said for the provisions, I can, let me just remove this, because in a pharmacy and store setting, okay, you definitely will see products like toothpaste and product like your cleaning supplies like dish soap and other laundry detergent. So I won't want to use provisions to replace that, so that it is not going to get confusing to some of us. So I can just say, why not we say, let this product C be our toothpaste. Okay, let's just say we also provide toothpaste. Okay, so this is the sales we have from our toothpaste and also from our cleaning supplies. So let's say our cleaning supplies. And like I said, the cleaning supplies is basically the dish soap, those washing items, okay, which are laundry detergent. Okay, so I say this for our toothpaste and cleaning supplies, things like our deodorants. I can also bring it. So let me just say these are deodorants, toothpaste, as well as that of our cleaning suppliers, which is also very, very important as far as we are concerned here. All right. So this is the information we have for these three products. Our supplements, which I say are basically vitamins, our medical equipment, our deodorant, toothpaste, and cleaning supplies. So I'm going to copy this immediately to replace these three products that we have here. To replace these three products that we have over here. Okay, same way I'm going to this Lagos branch and also replace these products that we have over here. All right, so once you have done that, now let's address the problem that we have. Now, basically, when I am trying to explain this perfectly, I go straight to the point to ensure what I'm giving to you is the perfect way you can actually solve this problem at any given time. Now, there are different ways to say you want to combine or prepare a combined report for these sales, but I'm going to give you the best way, because this best way is a way whereby you can use it as long as you want to use without getting to have any challenge. Okay, without getting to have any challenge. It's something you can do without getting to have any challenge at all. So just flow with me so you get to understand how you can be able to do this perfectly. So remember, we're looking at Goody. So let me first of all do this. So remember, we are looking at Goody. Okay, so now how do we consolidate, or how do we combine based on our requirement? How do we prepare this combined sales report for Goody, pharmacy, and stores? So first and foremost, since we have the information, like I said, tip one, maintain precise financial records, and financial records is maintained accurately. We have gone through, and this is the correct record. Though then we are still there are rooms where there are stations whereby you still have errors made, which you can later adjust. I'm expecting that when you adjust, it should also reflect to the current, correct amount. Okay, so what do we do at this point? Now we are going to come, since what we are required of a combined or a summarized sales report. Okay, we can say combined / summarized sales report for Goody, pharmacy, and stores. So what we're going to do is I will come to this new sheet. We're going to create a new sheet. For those of you who don't know how to create a new sheet, single sheet, you can see this plus sign here, or you can always right click from a sheet where you are, and you do what? You click on your insert and it's going to insert a sheet, bringing this, is a worksheet? You say yes. You say it inserts it from me. I can decide to exchange it here, and this is my sheet. Okay, so now I will come to that new sheet I've created. Okay, once I come in there, we rename it. Let me rename it to summarize reports or combine reports / combine. Okay, so like I said, don't forget, understandability is very important. So on the summarize combine report section here, what I'm going to do at this point is this. Okay, right here, I'm going to do is this. I won't come and say I want to. I know some of us will come to that new sheet since it's summarized. You come there and now copy this table and put in there. When you put it there, you now start putting equal to some. You say equal to some. Now start taking your shift key, some this plus some this plus some this. No, 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 no. That's entirely waste of time. Okay. So what you're going to do, you're now going to employ or to bring in what we call the data consolidation feature. Now, what do? I come to this my new sheet. It could be anywhere I want to be. I can say, okay, let me be here. Okay. Before you say I was one column. No, you can be anywhere in this cell. Okay. So I come here and what do? I go to my data tab. When I click on my data tab, you can see if you on your data tab, there are a lot of information here, but you're going to go and select where we have consolidate. You can see consolidate. It says it summarize data from separate ranges, consolidating the result in a single output, range. So you can see here we have what consolidate. I say come from your home, and you come to data tab and come to what consolidate. So click on consolidate. It's going to bring this window for you. Okay, now there are functions which you must understand now. Now, what do you want to do? What's your reason for consolidating? Do you want to ascertain the average among those sales, or the maximum, the minimum, okay, the count, numbers, the product, or whatever? But for now, we're concerned about summary. Summary has to do with summing. So I say it's to sum. So that's why I selected sum. Okay. Then now, once you've done that, you don't have the reference required section. Now the reference is asking you, what exactly are you looking into? This is where you bring in those different reports, okay, that you want to combine or you want to summarize. So I'm going to click on this reference. And ladies and gentlemen, when I click on that reference, you notice it changes and brings this for me. So at this point, what's going to be my first reference? It's going to be my first branch report, which is Port Harcourt's sales data report. So when I click there, it has just it brought me into that. But this is not what I'm going to do. Okay, that's not exactly what I'm going to do at this point. This is wrong. Okay, so you're not going to go in there and start selecting only the work or sheet name. No, what you're going to select is that you're going to highlight the table. You're going to highlight this table where all these informations are that you want to capture. So I can highlight this. Okay, I can highlight this, and then by this way, I've just selected this as my reference. So I'm going to start this again. Okay, I'm going to start this again. I said, when you combine anywhere you are, you're in home, you come to data tab, you come to consolidate. Then we say our function, what we're working for is sum. And we say reference, we go to where we have that of our Port Harcourt branch, which is this. Is our Port Harcourt branch, and say this is our, so we're looking for here. Okay, so once you have done this, you click here, so you can go back and you say add. You add it to this reference or reference section. You say add. That way you've just added Port Harcourt branch. Same way, you come again, you click on this arrow, here we have reference. You come to the next branch, which is Ogun branch. You also do what? You right click Ogun branch. Right click Ogun branch. Okay, you navigate as well, and then you right click Ogun branch. You make sure the same way you did that, you also do it here. So once you have done that, you also say add. Okay, now when you are adding, you notice that Excel by default is also entering the automate referencing for you. and the dollar signs, and you know the importance of that to ensure that you can command the formula and maintain same pattern. So once I'm done with that, I can also enter to go and copy the last, which is the Lagos branch report. And I also say, let me copy that. So if your data is quite, bulky, you know how to copy it now at once using your Control A, or to copy everything. So using your Shift key and drag down just like that, so you can fall back to your first row. So once I've done this for the Lagos branch, I then say what? Add. Okay. So once I'm done with this, I can click OK, provided I have ensured that I have captured the whole branches report, even though it's up to 20 reports. Whatever I want to combine or summarize, I am to follow the same. You have to follow the same procedure. So ensure that the three have been captured within the box. And if they have been captured within the box, you then say, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see that our reports have been prepared for us or summarized for us. So if I say, let me increase this for us to see clearly, you can see what we have here. Okay. Now if I go back there, I will show you something. If you watch the headers, like the product and the sales data and the months, was not maintained because I did not click on that. I did not assign that to be maintained. Okay. But you can do that at once. But normally I love copying my sales data. Okay, I'm putting it here. I love copying my sales data, dropping it here. And I also love bringing down my products at the same time. I love bringing down my products and also keeping it here. So these are our sales data. These are our sales data. So we'll say this for months. Okay, so these are sales data, and this also, and also for months. All right, so you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that right here we have the summary. So we can just say the summary, sales data summary, or sales data report summary. You can just say sales. Let's call this our sales report summary. So ladies and gentlemen, this very way we have just, it's good to mention that we have just summarized those three reports from the three branches, where you saw that of Port Harcourt branch and the other branches, which is very important for Goody to have, a clear picture of how much was actually made from sales of these three products. Okay, now there is something we have to look into at this point. Now we said that this is the total, because if we go back to say, let's confirm this for supplements, we're having here 160,000. Okay, now what if we come to Port Harcourt branch? If you use your calculator to say 63,000 plus the Ogun branch supplements 30,000, that's how much? That's 90,000. 90,000, that's 93,000 plus 67,000. If you check, you're going to derive 16 or 160,000, which means that we are correct. But now let me take you to a more trickier part. Now we are expecting that, remember I told you the first tips is that you must ensure that you maintain a precise financial record. That is, your financial record must be accurate before you do all this. But there are situations where, we are humans, situation where there could be an error, maybe error of original entry, you omitted a particular figure, or you notice that by the time you're done, okay, you came and you add your total. So when you add your total, you came and you add your total, then you notice that when you added your total, you noticed what actually, because this is more like inflow. Let's say this, the inflows, what came into the bank statement. But when you added your total, you then observe that what you realize here was not actually what is not when you compared with what is on the bank statement, they do not tally together, which means that there is a discrepancy already. There could be a discrepancy already. Okay, so at that point, you then reviewed your statement, and you notice that supplement for Lagos was not 67,000. Supplement for Lagos was not 67,000. Instead, supplement for Lagos was what? It was 87,000, meaning the 6. Instead of 8, you went and entered 6. So you're expecting that by the time you change this 6 to 8, it should also reflect the correct amounts here. But instead, you will notice that it's not going to change that for you. Okay, it's not going to change that for you, because if I'm changing that 6 to 8, expecting that what I should have here is 180,000, but it's not going to do that. And that's one tricky aspect where people get it wrong. So what do? If I say it's 87,000, I'm expecting that on my summarized report, it should also reflect what that changes, but it's not reflecting. So what I'm going to do to reflect that, I'm going to come to a new sheet and follow same process. I come to my data tab, come to my consolidate. Then I say I'm looking for the summary of everything. I come to my reference. When I come to my reference same way, I will go to Port Harcourt, the first branch, and I say, let me copy the analysis for the first branch. And I also go, to add this, and I also do what? After adding, same way I come to the next branch, and I also copy down the whole information, and I say add, then I go to the last branch, which I have there. Okay, if I go to the last branch, which I have there, which is the Lagos branch, and I can also decide to copy down everything and also do what? Add. So once I've done this, now for me to be able to reflect each time changes are entered, I have to click on this option below where we have create links to source data. So I'm going to link the sheets together, so that each time I reflect the changes in one sheet, is going to reflect here in my summarized report. Okay, then if I want to maintain the sales data row and the products column, I can select this information that we have called the top row and left column. If I want to use this, we call them labels. I want to use these labels at the top, but for now I don't want. So I'm going to click on create links to source data, and I say what? Okay. So now it brings up that same information for me, but at this time around, you can see that it's now showing the 18,000 based on, 180,000 based on what the adjustment, okay, the adjustment in sales, the adjustment that was made in sales. So I can call this my updated. Okay, I can call this my updated or corrected. I can say this is my corrected, summarized. It's my corrected, summarized. It's my corrected, summarized sales report. This is my corrected, summarized sales data. Okay, this is my corrected, summarized sales data. So once I've done the same way, since I didn't maintain this, okay, so I can decide to bring this here, since I didn't maintain it. These are sales data. These are sales data, and decide to do this quickly. So I believe you're learning, you're getting value from this. So, and also I can decide to, I also have to bring in this to ensure that our report is well arranged. So I have to insert a new column, and I'm sure you know how to do that. Click where you want to insert, okay, from the row, then you do what? Right click and say insert copy cells, okay, and you can see these are copied cells, but I'm not going to use that for now. So let me just see how to do this quickly for us. I'm going to shift this down. Let me shift these cells down. The operation will cause some merge cells to unmerge. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me undo this. Let's see. Take our combined sales. We have our products. Okay, so we are just trying to present this properly for us to see. So say these are our products, and these the three products that we have here. So we also have to take this over there. Okay, so you remember our cleaning suppliers products and so on. So same way we can bring in, since I did not select or data of the to maintain the model. So I can also come here, sales data, then we have our months, which is these 4 months. So I know we forgot about looking at the months generally. So it's something we all have to look into at that point. So this is not a difficult thing to do. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see right here, I can decide to add my border, all borders. So you can see right here that our supplement is now given at how much? 180,000. Okay. So if, for example, we say that medical equipment, when we went through, the inflow is not tallying with what we have here on this report, that actually what we generated was not supposed to be a total of 120,000, but instead it's supposed to be a total of 130,000. So we then go and check. We notice that it's the error is from our Ogun State branch. Now, if we check for our medical equipment, okay, you see we have 40,000 here. So we are going to say in that case, it's supposed to be 140,000, or we say, yes, it was supposed to be 140,000, or maybe it was supposed to be 10, 100,000, 100,000. So it means that if we enter 100,000 for January, we're expecting that for January, it should also reflect here. Instead of 120,000, should reflect the correct amount. So remember what we have here in our corrected summarized sheet, we have 120,000. Now for the summarized combined report, you can decide to hide it, okay, since you know it has been corrected, or you can still leave it there. So 120,000 is going to change to show the adjustment that is going to be made now. So if we come to Ogun branch, we say actually what we made for medical equipment was how much? Was 100,000. Okay, what we made was 100,000. So ladies and gentlemen, if you go to your summarized combined report, the first report, you can see 120,000 is still there fixed. Previous 160 is still there fixed. But from the corrected sheets we created that we linked to the cells, if you check, you can see that the medical equipment have been adjusted to 180,000. You can see it's now reflected to 180,000 based on the adjustment that was made. Same way, if we say medical equipment is showing 180,000, let's say for Lagos, we made an adjustment for Lagos, it's not 40,000, that instead for Lagos, okay, or let's go to the month of February, it's not supposed to be 96,000 due to Lagos branch. What Lagos branch made was 42,000. So we're expecting that we're not going to see that 96,000. It has also reflected the 106,000. So what makes this possible for you? It's the data consolidation tool. And I say to get it, go to your data tab, you see consolidate, then you'll be able to consolidate. Then for you to be able to link it up, so each time you make changes, it also reflects in the summarized report. You do what? On that consolidate, you click on create links to source data, and that way it's going to link it up. So at this point, you know, definitely I need to total this. So I can say this is my total, and for total, I can use my auto sum or whatever way I want to do this. I can say I'm trying to summarize this, and I've just gotten my total as 896,000. 896,000. Okay, and I say this is my total. So this is my total. And for my total, now I just have to drag this to command the formula. I have to drag this to command the formula. So ladies and gentlemen, I've just commanded the formula, and this was actually what we made as out these different modes based on our sales information for goodie, our sales information for goodie. And at this point, we have just completed requirement, which was to prepare a combined sales report. And not just that, we also looked into a situation arising where errors were captured. So if, for example, now we're having 896,000 as total for January, and let's say we made another adjustment for deodorants, what was actually spent, or no, what we actually incur from sales, what we generated was 150,000, okay, or 1,150,000. Of course, this money should be in millions. We're expecting that on our summarized sales, you can see it has also reflected not just the updated amount, but also in the total was also reflected. So we can decide that in each place, we made 2 million plus here for Lagos, a kind of a big branch. We made this here and so on. So you can always reflect that. You can see it's going to be what? Reflected. So once I'm done with this, I can just highlight this. I come to here and say, oh, okay. And if I don't want to say oh, I say oh, you can see oh brought gave me this underlined, or I can just say, let me come there and use the bottom double border to indicate that yes, this is actually my total. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been able to do this. So I can come here and say my bottom double, okay? I also put this and that and all borders. So ladies and gentlemen, this is our total. This is our total, what we made, from these sales. And then you can see that this way is very clear. So also, I would want to end this very lecture with going more further to the interpretation. Now we can see right here for supplement, we actually made 2 million plus. For medical equipment, we made, you're going to look at if you look at the individual, records here, you'll see we made this for January combined supplement. We made this for February. We made this for March. We made this for what? April. We made this for April. So I can say, let's still go to our Lagos and say what we made here was 1 million plus, because it's not realistic for us to make that low amount. I don't like low amounts. So let's say what we made here was this. What we made here was this. Okay. Let's say what we made here was this. Let's see also what we made here was at 1.5 million, 2.2 million. Okay. We just add one figure, 5 million. Okay, so if we come to our corrected, you can see it has also been what? Updated. So all I have to do is to drag to show it completely. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see right here, this was what we made respectively. And by looking at this, you can come up with a conclusion that yes, wow, we actually made more in April. Okay, we made more we made more over here. We made more in January. January, we have a total of 9 million plus. We have a total of for February 8 million plus. We have a total of for March. We have a total of 11 million plus. And for April, we made a total of from the general, both from Lagos, Abuja, Lagos, Ogun, and Port Harcourt, we made a total of 17 million. So you can see that April, okay, for April, we actually made more. So you can also decide that you want to replace this with the period, which would be 2019 to 2021 to 22. So we can decide to do that, okay, instead of using months. So I can come to Port Harcourt, let this be for 2019, 2018, let it be for 2019, let it be for 2000 this for 2020, and let it be for 2021 to 2021. Okay, so whatever the case may be, if you're preparing a report for months, play, or you're preparing a report for just the year, whatever the case is, you just have to do that, which is going to be suitable for you. Okay, so I can come here and also say, okay, so for my summarized, which is static, I can also decide to update it with this. And for the updated or the corrected summarized sales data, I can also update this with the year. So this is the year. Can put this in the middle. So ladies and gentlemen, now it doesn't end here. Okay, there are more things you can do, and then using even your Power BI, where you can visualize your data. Okay, you can visualize your data using your Power BI, which I also have here, but I'm not going to do that. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is a simple one. I'm going to go straight to that same data, data, but I'm not going to use the data section at this point. Instead, I'm going to use insert and insert my charts or my lines and columns to show the trend. Now, this is where decision making comes in. Maybe I want a more understandable or clear trend to know actually which year. Okay, now that we're looking at years or months, whatever the case may be, but now I change it to year. Which year we actually made much, and how was the trend flowing? How was it moving? Okay, I can come here to this new column, can select this new column B, that trend. I can call this my analysis, my trend analysis, or I can just say, I say trends. So I just call that my trends. Okay, and I come here, I say this is my trends. This is my trends. So in this my trends column, I can then click on the first row. So once I click on the first row, what do? I am going to come to insert. Under insert, I scroll to where we have line. When I click on line, data range box, you're going to copy the data on that range. Okay, the data that you want to analyze the trend. So I'm going to click same way and highlight. It's from 2018 to 2021, or months, January to April, whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is. So I say this is my data, and I say what? I click download, then I say the location range. This is the location range. Location range is the column where I want the outcome or the outputs to be displayed for me based on the trend. Then I say what? Okay. So once I say okay, you can see it brought out a line for me. Okay. Now this line could be called a drill down feature. It was to be in Excel. Excel is an accounting software. We call it a drill down feature. And you can use this drill down feature, which is being provided as a line here in Excel. Okay, if it's in Sage, you call it the drill down feature. So you can use it to get more detail or understanding or insight into what was exactly done or generated. So if I drag it same way, you can see right here. What does it tell you? It tells you that as of 2018, we started well. The sales was high, but at 2019, sales reduced. Okay, and in 2020, what happened? It started coming up a little, You know, was that no? Yeah, it came up a little. 1.2 was made in 2019. Okay, it dropped from 2.2 million to 1.2 million in 2019. Then from in 2020, it increased a little by 200,000, giving us 1.4 million. Then that same way it increased in 2021, where we generated 2.6 million naira. So this trend analysis makes it easier for you to get that. And if we move to for the medical equipment product, we're having 2.2 million also started, but it increased. Did it increase? Did it increase? No, it dropped. Okay, from 2 million to 80. Okay, a little changes. It increased, it dropped in 2019, then it increased by far in 2020, where we had 3 million plus. Then it later dropped in 2021 to 1.7 million. Okay, then if you check for the deodorant, 2018 was low, 2019 it increased a little, 2020 it increased a little, then in 2021 it increased by fast speed. So ladies and gentlemen, you can also decide to get the total of this, and you can also see that we made more. This trend analysis makes it possible for you to understand that we actually made more sales in 2021, because from our trend line, you can see 2021 had the highest, from the drill down feature is being drilled up. Oh, now wow, that's good. Drill down now drills up in 2021. You can see the slope. Okay, 2018 was a kind of high, little. It then dropped when it got to 2019. It then starts increasing in 2020, and then it increased. And I don't know which business you're doing. I pray for you and let it increase as it keeps increasing here from our trend. Let your business also keep what? Increasing. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the trend analysis, which I call the drill down feature. Okay, when it comes to Sage, I teach Sage. It's called the drill down feature, and it uses it a lot. It's been provided here in Excel to ensure you get a drill down, okay, of your statement, what you're looking at. So ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is it for this combined report. So watch out for our next class. Now, next class, we will be taking another problem. You'll be looking at we being able to consolidate, another problem. Okay, this was just we getting started preparing a combined summarized report. And this drill down feature is very important because it enables you to come up with decisions. At this point, you can know, yes, you'll fall back to look into, even which product made more sales. You can be able to do that, which product made more sales, and so on. You can see from your trends that, wow, if I ask you the question, which product did we make more sales on? And at that point, you're looking at product analysis. You'll be looking at the product. Can see supplement was given. Okay, but here we are just looking at the total. But at the same time, you can decide that you want to view not just the for the year, but want to also view the total per product. So at that point, what is expected of you to do is that I can just come in and say, let me also get the total for the whole total for each supplement, whole total for medical equipment, whole total for deodorant. Then I can do my comparisons to know which and which was made. Then I can also come to my to view my charts. Okay, you can see our charts, a lot of charts for you. Or you can also decide that okay, to view my chart, like the clustered bar chart. Okay, or I can say, let me get to see the counts. Okay, for that very information that I told you about. Or you can say, let's view it based on this chart, and we say okay. So you can see our cluster bar chart showing us the total made, the deodorant, toothpaste. You can also get to see, you can see that information over there for our deodorant. You can see our deodorant for Goody. You can see what we have over here. This for Goody 2021. Okay, you can see our supplement sales. You can see our medical equipment sales category. You can see all this. So ladies and gentlemen, this year we're going to be calling it a day. So in our next meeting, we'll be tackling a more advanced question or problem, which will be required to consolidate something more interesting. Okay, taking a professional example where we're asked to consolidate statement of financial position as of December 31st, 2021 for this same Goody Pharmacy and Stores, which we definitely will be looking at the parent company as Goody Pharmacy and Stores. We'll be looking at the assets. Okay, we could say asset like property and equipment worth over 5 million. Product inventory, which will be a combination of these products worth over, we can look into this and say this product is worth over. If we want to leave where we are, we can look into this and say, yeah, these are our charts. You can say, let's bring down our chart. You can say this product is worth over so million for us to see. And then that will be our product inventory. Okay, this will be our product inventory. Let's go up. So we can see our product inventory here. So if we still want to analyze this, how much is our product inventory? So let's say this, okay, this plus for 218 products, start of 219 products. Now we're not looking at this, we're just looking at by year. If we are looking at the total summary, then yes, but since you're looking at yearly, you say this our product inventory is this. So okay, 17,204,000. So these are some information you're going to use. And then the subsidiary shares, if there are subsidiaries, and then cash and equivalent information will also be provided. Our equity, like company shares, interest income, liabilities like loans, salary and wages, tax liability, and also look at the subsidiary aspect, which also have their asset, their equity, their liabilities, as well as the consolidated amount asset and then the equity and liabilities, like I said. So you can use this, what we have just done here, to consolidate those statements. There is no need of even looking into it again. It's something you can do, and don't forget to always run your trends analysis or your drill down to be able to get more insight into what have actually been done for you to see. Okay, into what has actually been done for you to see. And you can also decide to view that drill down by column. So I can also come to my insert. I can come to my insert, and I come here. Instead of line, I say column. So if I click on column, the data range, I see this is the data range, and you know what we mean by that. And the location range is that column J. That's where I want the outputs or the results to be. So you can also see this. So whichever is more clear to you, because I said that the characteristics, one of the characteristics of financial statement is understandability. Okay, it must be understood. So I can come in here and say, wow, I can say in 2018 it was high, in 2019 it reduced, in 2020 it reduced, in 2021 it increased far more again. And you can see also in this, okay, you can also see for medical equipment, we had reduction in 2020, it increased, in 2021 it fell back. So this will aid you in making good decisions at the managerial level, and also to give or present a good report that is understandable. So ladies and gentlemen, this I'm going to end. And it's important that you followed up properly. So please endeavor to watch, and not just watch, also ensure that you practice while you watch. So this is where I'm going to call it a day for today. Thank you once again, and God bless you for following. Don't forget to always stay tuned with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and enroll for our programs. We have programs on Sage, QuickBooks, Advanced Excel, Power BI, Data Analytics, courses, and many more. So thank you very much. And for inquiries, you can visit our website. Our website is given as miramore.com. So this is our website. So if you click on this website, you can see it will take you, it's going to regenerate to our website, https://miramore.com.ng, or that of www.miramore.com.ng. Visit our website, stay tuned with us. We're into setting up of accounting programs. We also offer accounting and audit services, where we have a good team of chartered accountants and auditors, okay, who works hand in hand to ensure that we give you more value. And here in Miramore Consulting, we are committed to giving you more of what you want. See you once again. Thank you. I am Williams, and for my phone number, is my phone number 090-6840-8000. You have any question you want to ask, you can ask. You can call me at any given time, okay? Any given time. Right now, you can call me at any given time. You know, call me by 1 a.m. anytime. And let's also learn something now. You notice when I enter the phone number, okay, it didn't show the 40. So at always, you're starting any number that starts with 0, you must begin with an apostrophe. Otherwise, Excel is not going to maintain that 40. So you can see right here, this is my phone number. Williams is my name. Okay, Williams is my name. Williams Miracle is my name. So thank you once again, and have a great day. Thank you.